Hello, friends, and welcome back to our homestead. Today, I'm going to be making soup for my family's dinner, and I decided to record it for you all to see because today's dinner is one of those things that it's not one particular recipe. I just sort of throw things together into one soup, but the main star of the show will be stinging nettle. That's right. You can cook with stinging nettle, especially in the springtime. It's filled with nutrients. It's very high in iron and vitamin C, potassium, and many other wonderful minerals. So it's springtime. I harvested a bunch on the back of my property, gave it a good wash a few times, removed the big stems, and today we're going to be making soup. So earlier today, I boiled some chicken bones and for like 2 3 hours, and it's nothing specific, nothing special about making homemade broth. It's so simple. If you like to keep a recipe vegetarian, just substitute chicken broth for vegetable broth or for water, but in my case it's going to be chicken broth. I just had some chicken bones that I threw together, covered with water, boiled for about 2 2.5 hours. I did add a little bit of aromatics because why not, but you don't have to. I put some bay leaves and a little salt, little juniper berries, and a few peppercorns and a pinch of salt, just to kind of add to the situation. But just boiling chicken bones alone is enough, and then now that makes a really good broth. So let me show you the rest of the ingredients. Super simple. And it's one of those soups that I open my pantry, I pulled stuff out, I open my fridge, I pulled stuff out, and voila, it's going to be delicious, delicious dinner. Okay, let's review the ingredients. Well, obviously, as I mentioned, the stinging nettle, and that's going to be my greens for the soup. And then I have some carrots. I am peeling some turnips, but if I had potatoes, I would have used potatoes, but I don't have potatoes, so turnips it is. It's less creamy, obviously, but it's also pretty darn good, and it's much lower in the starch content. So for people who are watching their calories or watching their waist, that is a good substitute for a potato. Also, instead of an onion, you can use onion. I'm going to be using some leeks. I chopped them up. I have some leeks here. And then I have one leftover winter squash. I'm going to wash it. I'm going to peel it. I'm going to chop it. Then I'm going to add some beans, and these are pinto beans, but any beans will work. And I think this is what's going to add that creaminess to my soup. And just like my mama used to do, I'm going to finish this soup with an egg. These are already soft boiled eggs. I'm going to be using these eggs. So you'll see that at the end. Little salt, little pepper, little olive oil, little garlic. Of course, I'll throw that as well. So let's get everything ready to go. Is it just me, or sometimes I feel like I need a little inspiration of what to cook for dinner? And sometimes going on the internet and seeing what other people are cooking for dinner is just what I need. But I've been finding lately that a lot of people cook with items that are semi-prepared or packaged. And I try to cook from scratch as much as I can because I know that's where the best nutrients are. So my inspiration sometimes is to look back and remember how my mama cooked back in the day. And how she cooked back in the day is with items that were available. Okay. Yes, of course, there were special recipes for holidays that required special ingredients. But overall, we ate nightly meals of things that were actually available at home. I don't know if you know this, but I grew up in a Soviet time in the Soviet Union, and food was not always easily accessible. And if you did not grow it in your own garden, then it was kind of expensive to buy at a grocery store or in a market, a farmer's market. And at the grocery store, you have to stand in line for a long, long time to buy just few items that you need. So very often, women were very resourceful how we cooked meals for our families. My mama was my hero. She managed to feed a family, a large family with 6 of us, to feed a family without going broke and still manage working full-time job, taking care of the household, and cooking for all of us. All right, so like I said, I'm just chopping up all of the vegetables, and you can, it can be at preference how you want them to be chopped. And I'm adding a little bit of carrot. It's going to add a nice sweetness and a nice nutrients and crunch to the soup. I'm adding winter squash, but that is all optional. So vegetables should be to taste. So whatever you like to have as far as vegetables in a soup, that's how the soup should be. I know people are so worried. Sometimes they write down the exact amount. As you can tell, I don't have an exact amount. I'm eyeballing everything, just like my mama used to do. But root vegetables is what kept us alive in the long winter months in a Soviet time. And just because we live in a time of abundance right now does not mean that we should be forgetting the skills that our ancestors had, because that's what kept them alive. And we need to learn to cook from scratch as well. All right, my vegetables chopped. Let's go to the stove and start cooking all this up. All right, so early, a couple of hours ago, I cooked this beautiful chicken broth. Look at this. So these are 2 chicken carcasses. The breast was removed, the wings were removed, the legs were removed, and this was just the chicken carcass left over, and I cooked it up. Look how beautiful, golden, beautiful, beautiful broth this is. And this is what we're going to be using. But don't forget, there's still plenty of meat on it. So I'm going to be scraping all of that up and using all of that in our soup as well. Okay, I'm going to be cooking everything in this pot. And some soups you can just go ahead, put the broth in and start putting all your vegetables inside the broth. But I like to cook things by starting up with what we call a zajarka. Zajarka is like a sofrito where you saute some of the vegetables. That adds a nice layer of flavor, a deeper layer flavor. This is obviously optional, but that's what I like to do. So remember my leeks, they're gonna go in here and we're gonna saute them with a little bit of olive oil, okay? And also, I'm going to be adding some other vegetables to saute them just a little bit. Carrots can go in here right now, okay? Onion, garlic. So if you have celery, celery can go here right now. But I'm going to just dump all of my vegetables. And I'm going to quickly, oh, I forgot to cut one of those. And we're going to saute all of them quickly just to give another layer, a depth of flavor. And that's what I like to do, my friend. Let the saute just a little bit. Don't burn it. Watch it. Okay? And it's going to be one delicious soup. So many people are afraid of making their own broth, thinking that it's so complex, when in fact it is not. And many butcher shops will sell you many different types of bones at a fraction of a cost, and it's going to give you a delicious, delicious broth. And look at this, all this meat, I'm going to be taking this off the bone, okay? There's still a lot of meat left over, and it's going to be one delicious soup. And it's so easy. You can add the aromatics, herbs, and some, I don't know, green herbs and dried herbs, or you don't have to. You can just omit that. It's really up to you what you like to do. But I'm just going to be removing some of this meat off these bones. Okay, we don't need the bones anymore. They've done their job. But it's going to be a one amazing soup simply because of the homemade broth. So friends, please do not be afraid of making homemade broth. It's so simple. Okay, so this is nicely softening up and getting a little color on it. I'm going to be adding the beans, and any beans will do. It's just, this is the type of beans I had. I drained them, I rinsed them a little bit, and they are going in here as well. And at this point, I'm also going to be adding the broth, okay? And remember, because I added all those aromatics, I need to carefully remove them. So I'm just going to put it over a strainer so I can catch any peppercorns or bay leaves, and all this beautiful homemade broth goes here. If you want to see how I make broth at home, I can put up a link in the description. So go in the description box below, click on that video and watch how I make a super simple but delicious broth at home using various types of meats and bones. So it looks almost done, but it's not. We're going to be adding a few more delicious things. So let this come to a boil. Let all these vegetables cook until they're nicely soft. And by cooking all these vegetables in a soup, it's actually going to release all those wonderful nutrients into the soup so we don't lose any of it. Isn't it fantastic? So this is how you can stretch a dollar feeding your whole family from soup. I think it's fantastic. That's how Mama did it, and that's how I'm doing it for my family too. All right. So while the vegetables are cooking, I'm going to be prepping this stinging nettle. And because these leaves are quite large, I mean, of course, we can leave them whole just like this, but I'm going to chop them just a little bit, break them up. So when we're eating, it's kind of manageable on the spoon as we're eating. And also, earlier today, I soft boil these eggs. I put them in the water. I brought the water to boil. As soon as it came to a boil, I turned the heat off and I let them sit in that hot water cover on for exactly 8 minutes. At 8 minutes, I strained the water. I shocked them in cold water and they are nicely done right now. So let me peel a one or two and I'll show you, because these eggs, you know, when you're supposed to eat in season, this is exactly what this means. Season and eggs, they're always in season, especially in the spring, because in the springtime, that's when the chickens start laying more eggs. So we need to eat in season, and eggs are in season in the spring. And it's a fantastic source of protein and fat. So let me just peel one and I'll show you, because inside it's going to be perfect. It's not hard boiled. It's not runny. It's just that soft boil that's going to be really, really pretty. Okay. I remember Mama making summer borscht. She called it letний борщ, meaning that it's a summer borscht. And instead of cabbage, she used to put sour sorrel grass, it's herb, or stinging nettle. And then at the end, it was always finished with an egg, just like this. So here's an egg, right? Let me bring the camera a little closer. I want to show you what it looks like on the inside. It's perfect. Look at that. Oh, yes, baby. Look at that. Look how pretty. It is absolutely perfect inside. It's not hard. It's not gray color. It's still nice and yellow. Oh, it's perfection. All right, so we're going to be needing these eggs for later. But we also need to chop up all this stinging nettle as well. Let's check on these vegetables. And if they're soft, that means they're ready. And they look pretty soft. Let me just put it over here and smoosh one. Yep, nice and soft. Okay, so remember all that meat that I have separated? That's going to go back in here as well. All right, it can be one hearty meal. And let's not forget those beautiful greens. They're also going to go all in here. How much? It really should be to taste how much. But remember, all this green stuff is going to cook way down, okay? But it's going to add a nice amount of iron and potassium and some magnesium and vitamin C. So let that all cook together. This is a good time also to add salt and pepper and garlic as well to taste. All right, so I'm going to put some salt and pepper and garlic. And as soon as the stinging nettle is done, the soup is done as well. And I'll show you how we're going to serve it up for each family member. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, let's serve this up. Look at this beautiful soup filled with beautiful colors. Colors means phytonutrients, and that's exactly what we need to do. We need to eat lots and lots of phytonutrients. And then this is how we're going to dress it up, just like Mama used to do. Remember that egg that we cooked earlier? It's going to go right on top of the soup, just like this. 1 and 2. If you have little scallions, you can sprinkle now. If you have dill would go here fantastic. It would be so good here. But I'm going to put a dollop of little sour cream right here in the middle. Okay, and this is tonight's dinner. Look how beautiful. Let's give it a taste. Yum, it looks fantastic. It's kind of hot, so I'm just gonna hold this with the towel. Eating in season is not difficult as long as we know what is in season. Eggs are in season in the spring, stinging nettle, and all the other root vegetables are stored up on a homestead. Oh, it's fantastic. Mmm, so good. Just like Mama used to make it. So all of these root vegetables are optional. You put what you guys like. But in my case, this is what I put in my soup, and my family is going to enjoy it. With a nice slice of bread, meal is served. So friends, I hope you are encouraged to cook in season as well. And stinging nettle is in season right now. So be encouraged and try something new. Oh, it's delicious. Oh, I love it. It's so good.